let's move on to Module 1 of the course, Project Management Fundamentals. Project Fundamentals. In the first module, we will discuss the fundamentals of project management, such as definitions, project structure, roles, responsibilities, and more. I will also explain why project management is so important and how it can help you to build a successful career. It can be a daunting task for those new to the field. However, with the right knowledge and techniques, anyone can become a successful project manager. Let's get started and delve into the world of project management fundamentals. Project management is an important skill to have in today's world. Whether you're working for a large corporation or an independent small business, you need to be able to manage your projects effectively. It's beneficial to know how to plan, execute, and manage projects successfully. You learn about project management methodology and principles, and develop the necessary skills to help you become an effective project manager. You'll gain a better understanding of how to create and manage tasks, schedules, and budgets, as well as gain an insight into risk management, quality management, and communication strategies. Let's start with definitions. What is a project? A project is multiple mapped activities with set durations that align to meet an objective. This set of mapped activities must be delivered within the constraints of time, cost, and quality. What does this mean? Let's take a roadmap, for example. You have a start line and a finish line. In order to undertake the journey from start to finish, there are a number of things that need to be done. This is called an activity or a task. Some of these activities need to be done in sequence. Some of these activities can be done at the same time, in parallel, but each of these activities is required to reach the finish line. The journey from start to finish is likely to have a time limit associated with it. Let's take an example. There's a new legislation being implemented in the next 6 months, and your company needs to ensure that they're compliant before the deadline. I'm confident that there's also a cost associated with meeting the compliance criteria, and whatever you implement needs to meet the criteria in line with the stated guidelines. This is quality. Overall, this principle is called the project management triangle: time, cost, and quality. Project management is the practice of initiating, planning, executing, controlling, and closing the work of a team to achieve specific goals and meet a specific success criteria. Projects are typically undertaken by teams of people with specialized knowledge, specialized skills, and coordination of these key resources is imperative for project success. A project is temporary. It's a temporary endeavor designed to produce a unique product, service, or result with a defined beginning and end. Once the project has been delivered, it is handed over to the operations team to manage going forward. Projects are undertaken to achieve pre-agreed objectives. There is a specific objective of delivering the project, hence the reason it's been signed off and the budget has been released. The key question to confirm the success of the project is, has the project achieved the objectives set out and agreed? Projects must realize a benefit. This is either tangible, such as a cost saving year on year, or intangible. For example, the morale in a specific department has improved as a result of the work undertaken within the project. Projects can also vary in complexity, size, and scope. This may involve a single person, a team, or the project may spread out across the entire organization. Projects create outputs. It could be a brand new piece of software, a service, or a capability to perform a service, such as 24/7 monitoring of a system. This could be an upgrade of an existing system to provide it with increased functionality, or specific result, such as creating a new policy document. Projects create a number of different things, big or small. The project could be to build a house, relocate staff and equipment to a brand new office location, or even writing a book. Regardless of size, there are a number of tasks that need to be complete to deliver an output. Project organization. Here is a typical project organization structure, which I'll talk you through. The project sponsor is a business leader in the organization with an interest in the project. The project manager is responsible for the delivery of the project. The project sponsor is, however, accountable for the benefit realization of the project as their name is against it. They are the person that the project manager reports directly to in this structure. They are the influencer. They are the one who endorses your project and defends the project as a valuable investment of a company's resources. The project sponsor should have enough influence to make decisions and work across both corporate and functional boundaries within an organization. The project manager is responsible for the day-to-day management of the project. They plan what work needs to be done, when and who will be doing the work. The project manager is responsible for managing the risks associated with the project, removing obstacles for the project team, and ensuring the work is complete within the constraints of time, cost, and quality. PMO, Project Management Office. It's an internal or an external group that supports the project. They define and maintain the project management standards across an organization. They are responsible for maintaining best practice, for example, ensuring artifacts such as the RAID log and the project status reports are up to date. Dependent on the project requirements, project support staff can be more hands-on in delivery. For example, attending project team meetings, taking meeting minutes for the project manager, and keeping the RAID log up to date. I'm sure you're wondering what a RAID log is. This will be touched on later on in the course, but this is essentially a key artifact that every project manager needs to have. There are 3 work streams highlighted in this organization structure: Technology Lead 1, Technology Lead 2, and Technology Lead 3. Let's use an example. There are 3 different specialist areas that have a part to play in the project. This could be an IT team, a legal team, and an engineering team. They all have a team leader that manages their own separate team within their own area, and they are responsible for completion of activities assigned to their area. They receive the task from the project manager, they delegate it across their team, and they report progress back to the project manager. Roles and responsibilities of the project manager. They are required to satisfy task needs, team needs, and individual needs. The project manager operates in the center, and they are responsible for ensuring everything required at a working level is in place. The project manager acts as the liaison between the project team and the business strategy. The project team provides the project manager with progress updates, and the project manager is responsible for engaging with the business to ensure alignment between the project and the overall business strategy. 3 key values of a project manager. Knowledge. Projects have a number of moving parts. A project manager must understand the principles that underpin delivering a project for it to be successful. Performance. There is never a dull day for a project manager. You encounter something new on a daily basis, and you must be able to make sure that obstacles are removed and the project is continuing to make progress. Personal. Soft skills. The soft skills are extremely important in project management, such as behavior, effectiveness, character, and leadership. You are dealing with unknowns all the time, so the ability to lead the project team through challenges, keep them motivated, and stay professional goes a long way. The project manager is responsible for balancing the competing objectives of the project. Different people, stakeholders, have different priorities. You must be able to work with people, negotiate, and reach agreements to keep the ship steady. A project manager needs to be an excellent communicator. You may be communicating internally or with external clients. The seniority of the people you communicate with also varies, so being able to provide them with information that's relevant to them is key, as well as take note of their challenges, concerns, and priorities. I'll give you an example. Somebody from the technical area might want a lot of information at a granular level, whereas somebody on the board would like highlights, bullets of the key components and key updates across the project. Key skills. A project manager needs to know how to plan. Plans aren't always perfect, but they are the starting point to knowing what needs to be done, how it will be done, and how long it's going to take. Budget management. Different organizations have different expectations of a project manager when it comes to budget management. Some organizations give the project manager full visibility and budgetary control, i.e., approvals. You are given £1 million, for example, for hardware, software, and people resource to work on the project, to get the job done. Other organizations provide less visibility to the project manager and purely expect them to focus on delivery. In some cases, the project manager doesn't even know what the budget is. Other organizations, particularly consultancies, expect the project manager to also report on invoices to clients for meeting key milestones. Sales and marketing. The project manager must be a master salesperson. You need to be able to sell the benefits of your project to stakeholders to keep people interested in the project. There is a very noticeable difference in the smoothness of delivery when stakeholders are or aren't interested in the project. Procurement. A project manager needs to have an understanding of the buying process, whether it be products or services from an external party. Dependent on the organization, the project manager could be involved in the tender process, requesting proposals or quotations from vendors to provide a product or service as part of the project. Logistics. There are a number of moving parts to a project. A project manager needs to understand what order things need to be done. For example, the project team are moving on to the hardware build in the next 2 weeks and require the servers, firewalls, and switches to arrive by then. Problem solving. A project also has challenges throughout the life cycle. The project manager needs to be able to assess a challenge and come up with solutions to keep the project moving forward. People are looking to you for answers. You may need to speak to a subject matter expert for advice on how to resolve the problem, but solving the problem is your responsibility. Motivating. We are all humans. We have good days and we have bad days. It's important to be able to read the people in your project team and respond appropriately. For example, one of your star players seems to be down. You need to be able to approach them the right way to understand how you can support them. Motivation comes in different ways. It could be a family issue, which requires giving them space or having a coffee chat. It could also be a pay rise issue, which has left them feeling deflated. Either way, it impacts the delivery of your project, so you need to do your best to resolve the issue and do what you can to help. Communicating. If I had to choose one key skill, and only one, it would probably be communication. An excellent communicator is able to diffuse situations, provide key stakeholders with assurance, and engage across the organization to keep the project moving along. Influencing. This goes hand in hand with communication. Building strong relationships within an organization is beneficial for a project manager. Let's say there are limited resources available and there are 2 projects fighting over resource. The ability to influence will increase the odds of your project receiving the right level of support and the right level of attention. Project Management Lifecycle. The project management lifecycle refers to the set of processes that all projects go through from start to finish. It involves planning, execution, monitoring, and closure. This is the logical flow of the project work. There are a number of different approaches and frameworks for project management, but the principle of a life cycle is universal. It may be a standard waterfall approach: discovery, definition, implementation, handover, and closeout. Or it could be an agile approach with sprints: plan, develop, test, deploy, operations, and repeat the cycle. A simple example that we'll all be able to understand: the transition from baby to child to teenager to adult to senior citizen. You can't jump from a baby to an adult overnight. There is a progressive route. Let's go through a traditional waterfall approach of discovery, definition, implementation, handover, and closeout. You will see monitoring and control, At the bottom of the diagram, this is something that wraps around the whole life cycle of a project to ensure the right controls are in place. Discovery. This is the first stage of the project life cycle. It involves the identification of a business opportunity. An initial problem or opportunity has been identified and needs further exploration. The details of the proposed project will then be captured in a document called an outline business case, which is the justification for undertaking a project. This is presented to the board for approval. The typical result at this stage, if successful, is approval from the board to commence feasibility studies. Feasibility studies may be carried out by internal subject matter experts or an external company. For example, if we were building new apartments, you would engage with structural engineers, architects, quantity surveyors. The anticipated output of this is a high-level proposed solution and a high-level cost estimate. Definition. This is the second stage of the project lifecycle, and its purpose is to provide a detailed definition of the project, plans, statement of requirements, and a full justification of the project. The outline business case is developed into a full business case and is presented to the board for final approval. Your project plan is baselined. Your approach to a number of components such as risk management, quality management, and communication has been documented. Implementation. During this stage, the project team executes against the plans developed during the planning phase. Performance is also verified during the implementation stage through testing and quality assurance activities to realize intended outputs, outcomes, and benefits. Handover and closeout. This is the final stage of the project management lifecycle. This is when the project is formally declared as complete and all stakeholders have signed off on it. The commercials are finalized, project files are archived, and post-project reviews are carried out.